For those of you who doesn't know, I'm Abel Tesfaye for Ethics and Adequate. Today's chapter is about the ethical and legal analysis for documentary and production. Really was like into this, you know, I was really into it because, Morgan Freeman, black guy. So, yeah, I'm from the Masters of Art in Digital Media and Global Communication. Professor Brett Robinson, thank you very much. You have been answering every weird question. I would like to thank our professor. He's been amazing answering like weird questions. He's been always there for us, answering every tough and difficult question. So thank you very much. So without further ado, let's just jump in the video. Introduction to ethical and legal analysis for documentary production. It's all about that. My name is Abel Tesfaye. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm from the Master of Art in Digital Media and Global Communications. I really want to appreciate Professor Bert Robinson. Like, to be honest with you, he's been answering some weird questions from the students, including me. Thank you very much. You've been helping us. You've been amazing. You've been informative. Thank you. We really appreciate you. You have been an amazing professor. Yeah, so documentaries, in my opinion, they have to be balanced and creative with responsibilities. The key focuses on this topic has to be ethics, law, and social impact. And then the ethical challenges are like transparency and honesty in storytelling, privacy and confidentiality, presentation and avoiding bias, informed consent from participants. To be honest with you, this specific topic, affects me really like in deep. Addressing the ethical issues, the first thing is like just before starting any like documentary movies, documentary assignments, documentary papers, you have to be really cautious on this specific topics. The first ever thing is like signed consent forms, accurate fair editing, but balanced perspectives, privacy protections, kind of like blur anonymization. You have to be like, in order to tell the true story, you have to be like on the good side. You have to be on the right side of the history. So the next one is the legal considerations, especially the copyright and permissions. If I'm playing like a specific kind of music, I have to get a brand or a deal from that specific label or from that specific artist. Fair use of guidance, intellectual property rights. We need to have for our documentary clearance for music, footages, or logos. For example, if I'm like using Tesla for any legal considerations for any documentation, I have to ask to use that logo from Tesla. They have to give me a permission, and I have to have that in a signed contract. The next one is like, what are the strategics for compliance? Use Creative Commons or licensed content. Yeah, thank you so much. We have to document all permissions. We have to consult legal media experts. Okay, who are like the legal media experts? We have to talk to them. What is right? What is wrong? The other one is like social impacts. The other one is like social implications. To be honest with you, this specific, for those of you who doesn't know, this is Morgan Freeman. This specific documentary really changed my life. If you don't know it, watch it, The Story of God with Morgan Freeman. I was really a religious person after watching this documentary. It really changed, like, I don't believe in God no more. I'm an atheist. Shaping public perceptions. It really changed me anything. It's not about like, they're not manipulating me, but I don't truly believe in God. This specific documentary really like showed me like it actually like opened my third eye. There are really like potential risk and stereotyping. For example, like if we see Morgan Freeman, the GOAT, Black Power, he's like, I'm going to show you guys. You know how he is. He's actually, so we have to be really consider about the potential risk of stereotyping, opportunities for awareness and empowerment. Okay, for example, I'm a black man looking at a black man. it really gives me like power, like, oh, I could do it too, kind of like that. So in this specific paper, the recommendations that I have is inclusive representations, you know, like if it's white, if it's black, what it needs to be from a specific group, from a specific tribe, from a specific gender. What it has to be inclusive representations. It has to be responsible messaging, sensitivity to ongoing ethical reflections. For example, like if somebody's talking about like in 21, if they're talking about like George Floyd, you need to talk. You need to stop talking about George Floyd. So in order to like, you gotta jump into another like stories. So my conclusion is like, for any of you like who doesn't see these specific documentaries, I really advise you to watch like Avicii True Stories. It's been amazing. My conclusion is on ethics, transparency, and consent fairness. On the low side, we really need to watch it on copyright and IP compliance. Yeah, honest to God, yeah. And on social responsibility, we need to be really like, we really need to be a positive impact on the social perspectives. So in this principle guides the documentary process and situation. On doing this documentaries, we need to be guided, we need to be legal, we need to be cautious and responsible for our project. So thank you very much everybody for tuning in.